podcast. Hi, Ellie. Ellie's actually joining us from her new house.
I am, guys. So if I'm really loud, if I'm echoey, you know why. There's nothing in this house. No fridge, no washing machine, no dishwasher, nothing. Like, it is empty. But I've started up today, and I'm not gonna lie, I slightly like it. I might move around a lot, but I see why people like standing up desks, you know?
Do you know when I present, I stand up, like online, I stand up because it makes me just feel more confident, like I have more movement.
Yeah. Do you know what? I totally hear it. Might get me a standing up desk when I set up my home office.
They're so expensive. I've looked into
Oh.
it. Well, the one, I don't know, maybe I haven't looked into it in a while, but the one that it's like a button that pushes up and pushes down,
Yeah.
you can shift the desk up and down. It's expensive. It's like £1,000.
Oh my God.
I did look like 2 years ago though, so maybe the prices have changed.
Wow, I didn't even know they were. No, actually, I think maybe my firm did have them 2 years ago. Um, I'm definitely going to look into it. Yeah, I'll see if I can find a cheaper one because that is extortion. I'm not spending £1,000 on a desk,
Yeah.
but I like the idea. I'll tell you how it is at the end of the episode if I'm still fucking with it or
Yeah.
if my feet are aching.
You let me know.
On the note of feet aching, sis, guys, it's December. Yeah, we're well into December. It's been Christmas party season, but not even just Christmas party season. Like, you know, everyone just wants to go out because it's December.
Hmm.
And like, I took time off work in October and then I've barely been in the office since. I've been in like maybe 1, 2 days here and there, and then I've been on inspections and stuff. So I was like, this week, I'm going to go out. So Wednesday night, we had an award ceremony. It was so good. Like, I don't know how much I actually told you about. Have I told you anything about it?
Nothing.
Oh my God. Okay. So literally the day before, I had Monday off, which will lead into our poll. So we'll touch on that later. But I had Monday off, so I went in Tuesday and I saw this email and it was like, you've been invited to a black tie, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, bam, of course I haven't. And then later
Fancy.
that day, I know later that day, my colleague messaged me and she's like, oh, hey, have you heard about tomorrow? Are you good to come? I was like, tomorrow what? She was like, we have a black tie event. The day before, they're telling me, as a woman, you need time to sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, my face was in okay shape, so it wasn't like I needed my eyebrows done. My nails, I don't care about them. I've given up with them. My toenails, luckily, I had closed toe shoes, but stressful. So yeah, when it was so good. The awards were a bit meh. They went on for long, but you know, 3 course meal, I'm not going to complain. And then afterwards, me and my colleagues stayed. It was in Wembley Stadium, so like they have a bar there.
Wait, it was in Wembley.
Yeah, do you know there's so much to Wembley Stadium? There's like event halls at the bottom or on the middle floor.
I had no
Um,
idea.
yeah, it's just a huge, massive room that people can hire out. It wasn't anything fancy, like it was just plain. But like it fit. God, we were table 59 and there were about 10 people on every table. So you can imagine huge,
Yeah.
really big. And then there was a bar bit after, and we went in and they had a silent disco. Have you been to a silent disco?
I've never been to one. I've always wanted to go to one.
So, me and Billy went to one. Our hotel in Mexico was really cool, and that was part of the evening entertainment. They had a silent disco, and I liked it. But I was like, at a work event, it was a bit weird, and my colleague was well excited. So I was like, all right, then I'll join in. Sis, we partied from like, when did the event end? I think they must have ended at like the awards even 10 till like 2 a.m. in the silent
What?
disco. And it's so funny. The videos are awful because you're just there like, really enjoying the music, and then obviously you can change them to 3 different settings. You've got like, I don't know, I'd say a old school, a more modern hip hop, and then like almost like a Magic FM or like a Heart or something like that. And you'd just be there to your colleagues like, no, listen to this one. But your mind is so funny. But it was 10 out of 10. I had the best night ever. Like, I was dancing with my manager and my colleagues. Like, we just had a great time.
I, I can't imagine. Were you drunk?
I wasn't like off my face drunk, but I had quite a bit to drink. And looking back at the videos, it was very cringy. But yeah, highly recommend. If you ever fancy doing something fun, silent disco, top notch. And it means you make no noise, but when you look back at the videos are silent, and you're there like, it's so bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, really bad. So that was Wednesday time of my life. Ended up in McDonald's. Oh, that really hit the spot. And then got home at like 3:30. I didn't make it into the office the next day till 12. And as
Why
soon as
did
I
you
got
even
in,
go in the first place?
because I had yoga, and the guy that runs the yoga at my firm, I just love him. And I was like, oh, I can't let him down. I'll go to yoga. But I got in at 12. Some of my other colleagues got in at 12 too. The ones who didn't come to the event were obviously in earlier. And then I got there and I bought myself like a pasta dish. And the girl was like, what are you doing? We're going out for lunch. I was like, oh my God, are we going out for lunch? I was like, I'm coming. My firm's idea of going out for lunch, yeah, is not my idea of going out for lunch. Guess where we ended up?
Where?
In the pub with no food, but yet more alcohol.
They didn't get food?
No. So I had like a mulled wine. And then I think I moved to Fanta because I was like, sis, you don't need to do this 2 nights on a trot. She says, but then. So then I got back to work, did like a couple hours of work, went to yoga, and it was some guys leaving drinks. So I was like, oh, I'll go to the leaving drinks. Just to like, because it's nice, isn't it? Someone's leaving, show them that people like them, blah, blah, blah. Goes to the leaving drinks. Ended up in Clapham. Why? For anyone that doesn't know where I live, that is the other side of London.
Yeah, that's South London. You're like all the way on the other side.
Girl, ended up in Clapham at an event, not an event, at a bar. Got home at 1:30 and I was just like, why did you do this, Ellie? And I had to be in the office on Friday. So I got in at like, I think I got in at 8:45. And I was like, good going for me.
So you must have slept like 5 hours.
Yeah. It was awful. Maggie, I looked awful. I felt dead. I'm not doing it again. My Christmas party, my actual Christmas party, is on Tuesday this week. Come in. And I'm not drinking, she says. I'm probably dying.
Wait, why would they put it in on a Tuesday? Like at least Thursday.
You tell me. They always do it. I think it's so that we don't drink too much. But it never works. It never works. But yeah, that was my week. It was, mad. I had my final interview on Friday.
I'm dying to hear about this. Please tell me how it went.
Sis. So I was so stressed because obviously when you go for these interviews, they book them in for an hour and it's not like it's online. I have to walk there. So I ran there. It said 20 minutes on, we were going for a coffee at 1:00. It said 20 minutes on maps. I ran there in 15 because you know me and my long legs. I was like, I've got this. Then at least I'm only taking an hour and a half lunch and I can easily make up half an hour. So I got there, sat down, and he was just talking. We're just talking about life, and then he was like, "Right, let's get to business."
Wait,
basically
sorry. When you were leaving for an hour and a half, where do you say you're going?
for lunch with my sister.
And they're calm with that?
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
My firm are so chilled.
Okay.
They're so chilled. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going for lunch with my sister, and they're like, oh, enjoy. So and it was Friday, so the office was dead. But yeah, so I went. He was trying to order food. I was thinking, I don't want to eat with you. We're trying to talk. Do you know when you're trying to, like, you can't eat and have a conversation at the same time?
Yeah, I hate it. That's why, like, I hate eating with people that I'm not fully comfortable with because I actually want to enjoy my meal. And if I'm at a work thing, I can't enjoy my meal.
And there's only 2 of us. So, like, it means that whilst the other person's eating, the other person must be talking, then you've got to finish your food to reply. Like, if there's 4, you're all eating at different times, someone can chirp in. But when there's 2, it's like, no. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate it.
And I was hanging, so I wasn't really trying to eat. In the end, he was going to order the whole place. I was like, look, if you make me eat, I'm going to go into a food coma. I was like, I'll just have a little something. So we just got some hummus and some bread. It was really nice. But yeah, we spoke. He basically said the job is mine, but I already knew that. I don't know if I told you if I knew that already. I don't think I've spoken to you.
No.
He said the job is mine. And he was like, I guess it's up to you now. And he explained the pay. The thing is, yeah, it's so techie because the job sounds awesome, but it's a complete change. So I won't know if I like it until I'm actually in it. And I love my current job. I literally, if someone asked me what I would rate my job out of 10 right now, I'd probably say 10.
Okay.
Like, my job couldn't get any better. I love my team. I love my company. I get on with everyone. Like, I walk into the office and people are like, oh my God, Ellie. Like, do you know when you know everyone, you're so settled?
Yeah.
But it's that opportunity to do something else. This is what's testing me because it's not a pay rise. They were like, you're expensive. They were like, we'll match you, but we cannot afford more than that. And I was like, I'm having to be in the office more. So actually I'm taking a pay cut. because I'm paying for travel.
Okay, yeah.
But the bonus might be bigger. So that's one aspect. And then the other aspect is that, yeah, my job at the moment is perfect. But if I don't move now and learn the skills that they're offering, which is like Excel modeling, stuff like that, then it's not like I can move when I'm an associate, because at that point, when you're moving, you're meant to be leading teams and having the skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I want those skills and I want that to be part of my day-to-day job, I need to move now, which is where I'm at, like, weighing it up.
Feel like if you're looking at your day to day, so
Mhm.
just imagine, because obviously there's like a couple of months where there's just dust. And once the dust settles, like you're just trying to figure out a lot of stuff and like get to know the team and stuff like that. Once the dust settles, are you going to be happy
Where in my current role?
in your new role?
I think so. I think the only thing I think it's exciting and I'd love to learn new skills. I think the only thing that's techie is that, and he's told me, he was like, you work way harder. It's a small business. He was like, most people are in at 8, no one leaves before 6. But then again, I got there at 5:30 for a chat the other day and no one was there. So he was like, people don't really leave before 6. You're in the office minimum 4 days a week. Obviously, until I get comfy, it would be 5. And he was like, everyone I've hired and spoken to, they have said it is a step up from a large corporate. And it's like, I've just bought a house. I obviously want to spend time with Billy. My work-life balance at the moment, because I procrastinate, it's not very good. But if I didn't procrastinate, it would be 10 out of 10. If I wanted to finish at 4:30 and go home, my manager would be like, yeah, cool. But then it's
And you,
like, this is the career for the rest of my life. But I do like it. It is just such a chilled lifestyle.
but if you don't take this job, there's still, it's not like you're in a place where it's going nowhere. Like you can still make partner at this firm that you're at.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So you kind of, you can't make a wrong decision here.
The only wrong decision I can make, which I think is more people saying it to me rather than me saying it to myself, is that people get bored doing valuations for their whole life, because it is very similar day in, day out. Like you get different assets, you get different clients that you work with, different like things that you're portraying. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they need a number and they need a report, and that's all that it is. But then I'm like, stability really works for me. And in reality, probably if I can, we'll have kids in like the next 5 to 10 years' time. So it's a great job slash lifestyle for having kids. But then part of me is like, I want to be a boss bitch. Like I want to work really hard.
But you can still do that in your current role.
I'm self-sabotaging because I'm working hard now, but I'm not stressed. And I'm like, why am I not stressed? I should be
But you,
stressed. It's a job.
we no, we literally spoke about this yesterday, so it's so funny. But like, you actually shouldn't be stressed though. You
I'm
don't need to be
not.
stressed.
Yeah, it's techie.
Our measure of like, are we working really hard is like, are we stressed? But actually, it doesn't have to look like that, Ellie. You can just do your job and just do it really well without
Yeah,
being stressed.
it's so techie. And then I'm like, so I have to decide by Monday. They wanted an answer on Friday. So the next time we record a podcast, guys, I'll have my answer. They wanted an answer on Friday. I was like, I can't give it to you. I need the weekend to sit on this, especially given I'm taking a pay cut. Well, not pay
Yeah.
cut, but like net loss. And they were like, okay. But I'm like, I don't even know if I'm getting a promotion at my current firm yet. I'm meant to be getting it in January, but it's not guaranteed. So imagine if I say no to this, and then my pay rise is not guaranteed, and I could have been on more money. It's like,
I feel like the money is minor. And I know that's like mad coming from me because I do care about that. But I actually do think the money is minor in this
yeah,
situation because it's not like you're getting like a 30K pay rise. Like
yeah,
it's it's not something that you should base your decision on.
yeah.
I feel like you need to think about your day to day. Do you want to go into the office before 8 and leave after 6 and be learning a new skill and are you in the mood to be challenged right now? I think that's what you need to determine because
Yeah.
you were in a stage, you know what it's like to be challenged. You were in other teams where you were being challenged all the time. You were working really hard. And now you're finally somewhere which is quite smooth sailing. You're quite happy. But do you think that you're going to eventually get bored of that? But then also, if you get bored of that, you can just make another decision in a year's time and look for another job in a year's time. Like, you don't have to make the decision now. But it's just, are you in the mood to be challenged right now? Is that what you feel like you need right now?
I think the whole thing that's swaying me is that I want to learn more. Like, I'm still learning every day. I still have questions for my managers every day. But I just want to improve. I think it is mainly the Excel skills and it's the knowledge of the industry as a whole. So right now, I obviously see one part of the industry. I see the numbers,
Mm.
but the way that the deals are actually done in terms of like how they're funded and stuff like that, and how people go out and get the money, how they tender for the operators, I don't see any of that. Whereas in this new role, I would see everything. Like, I'd know from start to finish how a property is managed and how it works and where the numbers come from and stuff like that. So my skill set would be definitely enhanced. And I feel like in reality, now is the time to be challenged because I have no responsibilities. Yeah, I've just bought a house and it would be nice to spend evenings with Billy and shit like that. But at the same time, if I'm going to have kids in 5-10 years' time, I'm not going to want to be starting a new role like this where I'm not really going to be home that much.
Yeah.
It's so tough. And I think it's just terrible timing. Because had this happened when I was looking for a job, I would have been chuffed. Like, I would have been like, go for it. What do I have to lose? But I think where I found a job that I love, like, I am so happy. I love my team. I love my day to day. Like, it works really well for me. Yeah, I wish I'd at least got to enjoy this team for another year or 2 years. And then I would have been like, right, I know all the basics. Because at the moment I am still learning. I still ask questions every day.
Mm.
So yeah, and I don't want to do them dirty because they're such nice people.
Mine up.
Mickey's like, well, I'll keep you posted.
Good luck. I do not. I feel for you. I would not want to be in your shoes. But it's great shoes to be in because you have an option. You're not being forced to do anything.
Yeah, I know. Why does being in demand hurt so much? Like, because I think about it was the same thing when I applied to grad roles. I had two that I was deciding between, and my gut actually told me to take the one I didn't take. And I sobbed. When I made the decision to take the job I'm in right now, I sobbed. But my sisters told me to do it. They were like, don't work in public sector, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, they're right. And also the other job, the thing that swayed me most heavily was that the other job required traveling. So I wouldn't be able to live in London. Every year you'd be moved to a different location for 4 years.
Oh yeah.
And there was some other bits and bobs where they were like, look, that's not smart. But now I feel like it was the best decision I made because I'm so happy. But at the time, I was in tears.
But at the time, you were like, you had no idea about anything because you'd never had a career job before. So
Yeah.
taking your sister's advice makes sense. You've actually got a career job now and you understand your industry a little bit better. And I know you don't know what the role is like and what that actually entails, but you do have more knowledge that you can go against the grain if you want to.
Yeah. Well, guys, that was me. That was my week. It was intense. I was out too much, having too many decisions to make. But yeah, there were no tears and I wasn't sick at all. So it was a successful week, basically.
We've
This is,
improved.
this is how I measure the success of my weeks. Did I cry? Did I throw up? And did I cause any war? No. So, winner.
That's a success.
Yeah, man. Who cares about productivity? It's about staying sane.
Real talk. Real talk.
Oh, but darling, how was your week? Because your work is stressful. You are outside of your comfort zone.
I'm outside of my comfort zone. I'm I'm going to Thailand tomorrow, guys, for work. I don't know if I said that in the podcast before or not.
I know we've spoken about it, so I can't actually remember if you did fill it in.
Yeah,
But this is so exciting.
yeah, I am super excited. Also very nervous because the client that I'm going with is just so particular.
Yeah.
And I sent through the what I'm going to present I sent her it on Wednesday, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna come back with feedback, and she still hasn't. And I'm flying out tomorrow, and I'm like, she's gonna come back with feedback today or tomorrow whilst I'm on the plane, and I'm gonna have to do it all on my own because my manager's not sitting next to me for me to ask her questions and the time difference and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm meant to be going with one of my colleagues, but he's dropped out at the last minute.
Absolutely not. You did not tell me this.
Ellie, he has a problem with me, and I don't know what his problem with me is.
Wait, are you joking?
I'm actually not. He's like, to give an example, I basically, he's a lot older than me, and he has a lot more contacts and stuff. So I was just asking him if he can help me set up meetings with X, Y, and Z people because I need it for the project that we're working on. And I think that's rubbed him up the wrong way. And he's just been really short with me and like
Ew.
very ill. And I messaged him and I was, what time does your flight land on Monday? Because mine lands at blah, blah, blah. Like maybe we should get dinner on the first day to just like catch up.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, I'm so nice. He was like, he responded, I land on Sunday and didn't say anything else. I was like, okay, fuck me then. Never mind.
That is so rude and unnecessary.
It is, and I spoke to my manager about it because I was like, "What? Like, what's his problem with me?" Because
Yeah.
we've always been calm. Like, I've really liked him, and when I was in my other team, he came to London for a wedding or something, and we got
Well,
on really well.
he's not based in London. I
No, he's
forget.
based in Asia.
Okay. All right, all right.
Yeah. So then, and she was like, I think he's threatened by you, and you like asking him for contacts and stuff like that like is rubbing him up the wrong way, and he sees someone who's like he feels like you're coming for his bag, but I'm literally not. Like, I'm, if anything, I look up to him and I want to learn from him. Like, that's how I'm approaching it, but he's
Yeah.
obviously insecure and sees it in a different way. So I don't know. I was like, okay, so are you definitely not coming? Because if you're not, I need to present your parts and I need to learn your parts of
That's
all of this.
disgusting. The fact that you would leave a colleague in that state to carry two people's job is just beyond me.
It's insane. Like, and he was like, I'm gonna decide by the end of the week. Like, bro, I'm leaving on Sunday. He hasn't messaged me. I don't know if he's gonna be there or not. And I'm also like, I'm not gonna lick his ass. Like, I actually am
No.
not. I do not care. Like, if I'm prepared to present his section just in case. It's
Smart. Yeah.
yeah, like I was like, I'll just be on standby regardless. Um, but yeah, I'm just like that's just disgusting to me. Like men in their small egos sometimes. I don't even know if that's what's going on. That's just mine and my manager's theory, and it might be something
But
completely different.
yeah, to be fair, that was my initial instinct. And even if it's not, there's no way you do that to someone. Like, you literally invited him for dinner. All he had to say was like, "Oh, I land on Sunday, and to be fair, I'm probably going to use Monday to prep.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's have a think when we get there. We can book something in." If he didn't want to, and then he could have never spoken about it again, never booked it in, and like let you down lightly. You were just
yeah.
being nice. When replying, "I land on Sunday," it's just rude. It's so disrespectful.
It's rude, and like I set up a meeting with someone who I actually had contact with from my previous role, and I told him I was like, "Are you available this time for the meeting with these people?" And he was like, "I think meeting them will be useless." I said, "Fuck you! I'll meet them on my own."
Oh my gosh. He
But
just sounds like an absolute dick. I'd forget about him. Who needs his connections? Not just reach out to them. If you have their emails or you see them on LinkedIn, just reach out to them. Just go over him.
no, this is the thing, Ellie. Like, if you knew him, I was telling someone else in the team about this. She was like, "What? Like him? Like he's the sweetest guy. Like he's so nice. So it's so out of character for him to be acting like this. Like everyone, even my manager's like, to give you an idea of how liked this guy is. My manager, when she moved to our company, brought him with her. Yeah, like
So then
this
she
is
would know him pretty well. And so if that's her theory,
yeah."
then it kind of stands to reason, in my opinion. If she brought him, she knows him.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I'm just shocked. 'Cause I'm like, what did I do? Like I'm in beef without even being in beef. Like I didn't do anything.
It's not your fault. You're awesome. Do you know what I mean? Did you ask to be this gifted? No. Did God pour in a little too much sauce? Yes. Is it my fault? No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's just rude. That actually makes me so angry. Like, why would you, it's beyond me that someone would go out of their way to make someone uncomfortable.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But luckily, I am a confident girl. So like I'm like once I get there, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about you. Like I'll present my part. If you're not there, I'll present your part too. If you are there, then you're there. Like it doesn't actually I'm just
Yeah.
I see you. And I'm also if he is there, I'm gonna address it with him. Like, what is your problem?
Yes, yes,
Because
girl.
let's not forget, I am from Croydon. So if you're coming for me, I will come for you back. Like in a professional
Yeah.
way, but I will come for you back. Like I'm not taking that.
Yeah. And it's wrong. Like, I agree. People need to be called out on their shit. You can't make someone uncomfortable, unhappy. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. Don't take it out on the wrong people. You've done nothing to him. And if he feels like you've done something wrong, he should address it.
Exactly.
Can't do it. Can't do it. You've just reminded me. Guys, we're just going to talk about ourselves this episode. Not to cut in half. But I obviously have a colleague at work that I'm very close to and I spend a lot of time with. Maybe you will know who I'm talking about. And
I hate this guy.
I moved teams and I'm obviously fitting in with my team. I'm working really hard. I'm trying to shine because I want to work hard for my team. I really like them. I want to do well for them. Like we're a good team. We support each other, etc. So I don't really take lunch that often. And also because a bitch procrastinates. So then I need to work hard through lunch. Like
You're preachers of the choir.
and then the other day I saw two colleagues as I was walking into work at 12 o'clock. And they were like, we'll go for lunch. Do you want to join? And I was like, guys, I cannot go for lunch. I have so much to do. It's 12 o'clock and I'm just getting into the office. And they were like, okay. But then obviously I got into the office and I went for drinks with my team. And instead of coming up to me and being like, mate, you just said you were too busy to come for lunch and then you go on for drinks with your team. In which case I would have said, but it's different. That's my team. So if my team are not working, I too can take it off.
Yeah.
And I'll make up for time around that. And also bonding with my team is really important. These are like colleagues that I work with day in, day out. It's good to go out and have a chat with them.
Yeah.
He just ignored me, walked past me in the kitchen. I was like, you're right. Just ignored me, told other people that he was pissed off at me. And I was just like, mate, just come and talk to me. Let's just talk about it.
One thing about me is if I'm annoyed with anyone, I will address it. Like a couple weeks ago when I had all of those in-person things, one of my colleagues pissed me off. Two of my colleagues pissed me off. And I literally set up two different meetings with them after the fact. And I said, look, this is what annoyed me. This is what we can't be dealing with next time we work together. And I did that with both of them. And I invited their managers too.
Oh, good. Wait, what?
Yes.
She said, I mean business.
Yes, I did.
Don't piss me off again.
For real. Like, but it's like, it was all very constructive and it wasn't like, I wasn't like coming for them, but
Yeah.
I was coming for them in a professional setting because no, if I have something wrong with someone, I have to address it. Like, I
Yeah.
hate this petty shit.
No, I'm with you. Like, I don't get me wrong, it's tough addressing shit. It makes me anxious. And I never want to hurt anyone's feelings. So when it's like domestic stuff, I always try and address it in like a nice way to do it subtly.
Hmm.
I don't want to outright like address something and make someone feel bad about themselves and make it awkward. But I'm just like, you should have just come to me and been like, rah. Because I would have just come to me and done it in a jokey way and been like, rah, I thought you were too busy, huh? But you just
That's
went
what I
out
would've
with
done.
your colleagues. With your colleagues. Like, that's easy. And then we can just get to the bottom of the issue and I'll be like, oh, I'm really sorry. But yeah, I was like, he later apologized because I was like, what are you doing?
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he apologized.
Good.
I was just like, but yeah, I'm excited for you and Thailand, darling. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I know you're going to smash it out the park and you've got your coping mechanisms for when the stress peaks.
Yes.
I hope if your colleague doesn't come, mate, he's just putting himself down if he doesn't come. Like, he's making himself look bad. So if he doesn't, that's on him. if he does, I hope he's nice to you and that, yeah, you can address it and get to the bottom of it because it's just a bit icky.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed. I don't know how you have the social battery for this stuff because, like, you're in a foreign country, so you're always going to be around someone mingling, doing something. Like, for how many days straight? Like 7, 8.
Yeah.
That is afterwards, darling. You're going to need a little something, a little pick me up because wow.
I'm going to an island.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, are you staying out there for an extended amount of time?
I took 3 days annual leave, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna be on an island for those extra 3 days, then I fly back.
Wonderful. Deserved. Well, bloody deserved, darling.
Oh, can't wait.
I'll be thinking of you every day.
Thank you.
Love it. We survived another week, guys. Well done to you. Well done to us. Whether it was productive or not, we're still sane. And that's all that matters. But yeah, on that note, Monday, yeah, I had Monday off. And guys, obviously, we've been doing this pod for a while now. And Maggie exudes wisdom. Like, I'll have a problem and she'll just solve it. She'll be like, it's not black and white, but let me fill in the gaps and give you some flavour, and there's your answer. And I'm like, cool, okay. And she's always talking about listening to podcasts and whatever else you do, like picking up the newspaper. She'll be like, oh, Ellie, I read this on the newspaper on the train. And I'm like, this bitch, how can she do everything? So on Monday when I had it off, I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to a podcast because I'm talking so fast today. Maybe I shouldn't stand up. I'm like, I was like, I think what I lack, as well as Excel skills, is political knowledge, which really impacts my sector. Like when I first started, I'm not going to lie to anyone. What the hell is a budget? I was like, bear in mind, I had worked in the civil service on the budget, but I didn't understand the grander impact of this budget. And an internship, by the way. I worked on an internship, so obviously I wasn't that important. And so I'm like, now obviously I know what it is and how it impacts and what different things they change. But where people are looking at trends so long over time, I'm like, I don't really get those trends because I wasn't following it back then. So yeah, I was like, I'm going to listen to a podcast, try and extend my knowledge, learn about what's going on in the world at the moment because it is really important.
Which podcast did you listen to?
I tried a few. Hold on, I'll get them up. So I did. I turned them all off within 10 minutes. One was called Political Weekly UK by The Guardian. I was like, surely that's got to be good. It's The Guardian.
I listened to that one.
Is it good? Because I struggle. I listened to like 5 minutes of all of these. I turned them off and started listening to I'm a Celeb on ITV.
I've listened to like 5 episodes here and there, like sporadically, and the ones that I've listened to are interesting. Like, but you have to. A podcast is not something that you can just like listen to in the back. Like, you have to really lock in and listen to what they're saying. You have to concentrate.
Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, I didn't like any of them. I tried one called Politics Unpacked, one called The Rest is Money. I think I need to give them another go, but I was so bored. So bored. But one I am listening to is based on, it's called United Students Accommodation Matters. And it's like tailored to students, but then also professionals in the student industry. And some of their episodes that are more related to professionals are really interesting. Like, I'll literally sit there and be like, oh, this is so interesting. I think because it relates to my role and I can connect with it.
Yeah.
Whereas I think some things for me just feel a little bit too disconnected. I'm like, oh, I'm bored.
Right.
But yeah, it inspired our poll because I was like, how are these people out there learning? Because I can't learn unless you force me. Which is why I feel like I need to take this new role because I won't push myself unless I'm stressed. In summary. I'm not a co-star, so it's important. So basically just ask people, do you learn outside of your current role? And how do you learn? So the answers were, in terms of do you learn, it basically said, do you try to learn new things outside of your job? It was, yes, I love learning, or no, I do not have time. What would you have thought the answer would be?
I feel like people don't have time.
Me too. But apparently I am the only lazy bitch in this world. Guys, it's made me realize I need to step up my act because I do not learn outside of my job. Not really. It says 71%. Said, yes, I love learning.
Okay.
Greedy. Why couldn't I get some of that motivation?
But I'm also like, how are people learning? Do they count watching a TikTok video as learning?
We shall see, because we did ask. But 29% of people said, no, I do not have time. Those are the busy bitches like me that just want to sleep when they finish their day job. Because the girl is tired.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, in terms of how do you learn? So the answers we put up that people could respond to were podcast, because we know Maggie is a podcast babe.
I
So
do
I was
love
like,
it.
right, is this how people are learning? Is this the wave that I need to jump onto? The news, which I guess you could get through podcast, or you could just read, watch online, etc. Apps. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, one that needs to go on my New Year's resolution list is getting a mathematical app and improving my mathematical, what's it called? Mental maths.
That
That
sounds like hell to me.
that is lacking. So I need to do that. Or like Duolingo. I know loads of people do language courses. And then the last one was like a course, as in you go on an Excel modeling course, or you take a leadership course like Maggie did, because technically that's outside of your day job.
Yeah.
Like, um, those were the things. And to summarize, 43% of people said podcasts. How the world is changing. 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, did podcasts even exist? Were they a thing?
No. It's really just radio.
Yeah. The news, 29%. And then 14% of people said apps and 14% said courses. And I didn't give an other because there wasn't that many options, but I'm sure people learn in loads of other different ways.
I have to be honest, watching the news, I just don't think you ever get the full details of stuff. Like
Mm,
they've, because I remember there was a period where I tried to watch the news to be more educated and stuff, but like they spend like 5 minutes on a really complicated topic and you just get the highlights. Like you really don't understand what's going on unless you
yeah.
really watch it every day and then you get these segments of information that over like 2 weeks you can build up to knowing something. But I also just find the news very like sensationalist and very depressing. Like I just don't think it's a good place to go.
I think it depends. Yeah, I think it depends if you're watching the news or reading the news. The first
Yes.
time I probably watched the news, guys, I'm so uneducated. It's unreal. How have I achieved what I've achieved in life? The first time that I watched the news was when we used to watch I'm a Celeb in uni, and the news used to come on after. That was the first time I properly sat down and watched it, and I was like, "This is sad." It was like so and so died the other day. The war is happening in X country. So and so has been assassinated. I'm just like, this is grim. Why do I want to listen to this?
Yeah, it is bad.
Um, so yeah, I do not watch the news. But I think reading the news, like there are so many articles, and the fact that you can chop and change depending on what you want. Like there are so many articles nowadays about loads of different things. Be it like health and fitness, if you want to expand that section. I know you were looking into like vitamins or gut health, weren't you, at one point?
Yeah.
Or like I read loads of, well, I try to read loads more news on like my industry and what's going on and keeping up to date on that. So I hear the news. I actually like the news when it's written in written form.
I don't watch the news anymore, but I do read it in written form, like whether
Yeah.
it's the free newspaper on the tube or usually I get alerts on my phone when something comes up that's related. You can actually I haven't set them up, but I think it's just land what I read. But you can set up on
Yep.
Google, like Google alerts, like if you put residential housing or whatever, then every time an article talks about that, it will ping you.
Yeah.
Um, but I really like that. And like the Financial Times actually come out with really good articles that are not completely like not financy, like talking about
You have to pay for
stocks and
that one though,
stuff.
don't you?
Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for.
Yeah, anytime I try to click on it, it asks me to pay. But good to know. I'll have a look at some of the free ones.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I prefer written news as well. I agree.
Yeah, 110%. And I like the fact that you can pick the ones that are relevant to you. Whereas obviously if you're listening to the news, they're going to talk about things that either are huge that are going on right now or just things that they know will grab attention.
Yeah, exactly. One thing in terms of career wise, of keeping up to date with your career, most career industries have something like this. I don't
Yeah.
know what it would be for yours, but we have these newspapers, you know, like the nature journals, which is all about like nature and stuff like that. Like we have
Yeah.
an equivalent for sustainability, for
Mhm.
sustainable finance. And I'm not subscribing to that, I'm paying for that. But my CEO pays for it and then he'll bring it in and drop it off at the office. So there's loads. I literally stole
Oh,
them all
that's
and I
so
was reading
nice.
them. Yeah. So you can like look into that. Like there might be something in your industry that's relevant if you care
Yeah.
about it, obviously, if you don't.
Yeah, we to be fair, my firm subscribe to one, so I get it in my inbox. But they send like 4 emails a day. I'm like, fucking hell.
I have one like that that send like 4 emails a day as well. And it's like I'm not even reading one anymore because it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's loads. So sometimes if I want to know about a certain thing, I'll just dig it out. I'll just like go onto the website and have a search for it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot around like student accommodation and immigration and visas. Well, there was.
Mm.
It's kind of we're kind of seeing the effects now. Um, and I was like trying to Google about that when I first started my job, and it was really helpful to go onto the website and have a look. But yeah, love the news. Some people actually wrote in, and I'm going to give podcasts another try. I'm going to do it. Some people actually wrote in and told us what they're doing. And someone said, currently doing a DIY refurbishment on my drawers. I love that. That's not something I would even think to myself. I'm learning a new skill, but you're so right. Like
Yeah.
that is a whole. That's Billy's whole job. That's a job. We're basically learning to do a job.
It's very true. And you know what? It's a hard job at that because I'm, girl, I'm trying to change a light bulb at the moment and I don't know how to do it. Like, and I know that sounds dumb, but trust and believe this light bulb is not straightforward. Like, I
Yeah, no.
can't even see where the opening and closing and like where I'm meant to take it out. So I'm bare struggling. So yes, that is DIY things are a skill to be learned.
No, girl, I hear you. Upstairs, you can see the lights, the recess lights above my head. Billy's taking them out, and I'm like, bruv, where do you even start? Like, how do you even get those out?
Exactly.
Yeah, girl, I'm with you. I was talking to my mum about this the other day, and I was just like, Mum, how would I get through life without a man? Because Billy does everything for me.
This is what I'm saying. There's so many things. Like I I can't do it. I just can't. Some things I just leave. Like I'm like I'm about this light. I'm putting it in the group chat today because everyone in the flat has like in the building group chat, and I'm hoping one of them just offers to come
I
up and do
love
it for
it.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, I need to start learning some skills. I need to get Billy to teach me. Currently, he's upstairs making our IKEA bed whilst I'm down here recording.
Oh, lovely.
What else have we got?
Spanish on Duolingo. Lingo.
Love that. My colleagues, a couple of them are doing French on Duolingo, and he's on like his streak, and that's his New Year's resolution to keep to his streak.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? I was listening to a podcast about Duolingo and it was saying that the way like it's really clever marketing what they've done of the streak thing because it makes the way our brains are wired with social media and stuff, it makes you want to keep going back and then so therefore people should be learning more. I actually went on a date with someone who wanted to learn Spanish, I think, but he did it Duolingo the other way around, as if he was a Spanish person wanting to learn English. And he said that that was actually way more useful.
Oh wow, how interesting.
Yeah.
Sure, there's loads of things that I want to do, but I'm just too lazy to do them. Maybe I'll pick French back up. Who knows? But the streak thing does not work for me. I have a meditation app where it's like, um, do it 5 days in a row and you've got a streak. I'm like, bitch, I don't care. I don't want a streak. I'll come when I want to come. I'll come when I'm sad or stressed, okay? There was something else as well the other day. Oh, I can't remember. It's gone. If it comes back to me, I'll let you know. But yeah, I am just struggling with life. Someone else said salsa. Did you ever take up salsa dancing?
No, it wasn't salsa that I was doing. It was
What was
this
it?
it was Brazilian, it was samba.
Yes.
But did I tell you the teacher was so horrible?
No.
Like
I didn't even
it
know you'd gone. We haven't spoken about this.
oh, I completely forgot. It must have been when we were on our break. Yeah, because it was in the summer. So it was at Pineapple Dance Studios, which
Oh
I
my god.
yeah, like Madonna's done her music video there and stuff. Like I was like, wow, this is
Yes,
so
huge.
cool. So I go there and the teacher is so rude. Like she literally was teaching us the basic steps. Like it was very much a beginner's class, but she was like just shouting at everyone, and like she like picked on this one girl, and she was like, the move is like it's starting off with just walking, and then you
Yeah.
add like things into it. She was like, you can walk. Do you walk to the tube station every day? Yeah, you do. So why aren't you doing this move? And I was just like, I was at the back, like, oh, she
Well,
was so
no.
horrible.
And you're paying for that.
Yeah, honestly, and like she made us like do this one move so much where you with your like hips that when I say the next day my hips were literally hurting, like I'd done a workout. Like I was like, wow, this is I'm just here for a good time. Like this, it was too much.
Yeah, girl. It sounds like that's not her problem. There probably are better, much better places out there. Imagine paying someone to shout at you. Absolutely
Honestly.
not.
But then I do feel like with her you'd get results. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure I want the results. I don't want to be shouted at. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Someone else said reading. I think this is a really interesting one, right? Because
Hmm.
I've tried to read non-fiction books to learn things, and I just find that I get into it, but once I put it down, it's down. Like it's not
Yeah,
like a non-fiction book where it's like I can't wait to pick it back up because I want to know
yeah.
what happens next. With fiction books, sorry, you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Fuck's sake. With non-fiction books, I'm just like, I don't care too tough what you have to say next. Like I have to really force myself to read it. And like that investing book took me ages to read that. It took me ages to get through that. And it has like it's interesting, but I just didn't have that pull to come back to it. And it's also
Yeah,
something that I can't just read on the go because I'm actually trying to learn something. So I need to actually dedicate time to read it. What I do
yeah,
find better is when it comes to nonfiction, is listening to it as an audiobook as opposed to reading it. But I don't know, yeah, it's just a difficult one, I think.
girl. Honestly, for love nor money, yeah, I cannot concentrate. People will be reading books, will be listening to a podcast. I'm telling you, if I listen to a podcast, literally halfway through, I'll be like, oh my God, what have I been listening to? Like, I will daydream and not even know what the whole topic was about, what the whole episode was about.
Maybe you need to watch the podcast.
That's a good
Do you need
point.
to watch it?
That is such a good point.
Because I listen to Diary of a CEO a lot and I never listen to it. I watch it on YouTube. I've never, ever, ever in my life
That is
listened to it on
one
Spotify.
podcast, Maggie, that you told me to listen to, yeah? And I don't think I can't remember what episode you sent me, but I was like, all right, I'm going to get into this. Everyone raves about him. And I've listened to, I think, 2 or so now. And I listened to one the other day about finance. And I was proper trying to concentrate. And I got to the end. And I was like, I didn't learn anything. He just chatted shit for the whole hour.
Have you tried a TED Talk? Because TED Talk is really where it's at for me.
I haven't, but you're right, actually. Because when we were at uni, I used to watch TED Talks. And I listened to those.
And they're quick. It's usually like a 15-minute thing.
Now that you say it, I think I did try a TED Talk. Hold on. There was one I listened to and it was 10 minutes. I was like, what a waste of my time. Because I didn't learn anything. Maybe I'm just being impatient.
Maybe you just know it all.
Maybe I'm just naturally intelligent. No, definitely not. This is my goal, to force myself to be able to learn stuff.
Have you tried reading?
Yeah, I do
A
the
book?
same thing. I'll read it. My mind will say the
Okay,
words,
yeah.
but nothing will go in. And I have to reread the page. Honestly, I think my brain is frazzled.
Trying to think what
I
else
think I'm
might
a
work.
doing person. I don't learn unless I do.
So maybe you need to take
Yeah,
a
I think
course.
that's it. Because when I think about the times that I'm actually interested in learning and I learn a lot, it's when I'm relating it back to my job and then I do my job. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's making sense. I learned that. Whereas, like, if I'm trying to learn something outside of my job that I'm not going to do actively, it doesn't work. Like boxing, golf, that kind of stuff, I'm happy to learn it. But, like, the stuff that goes up here, I can't learn it unless I'm doing it every day. I read a whole book on, like, how to be a better person. And there were so many, or like, it was something about how to speak
I
confidently.
remember
Yeah,
this.
and how to talk to people. And I read a whole book on it, and there were some amazing things now. I was like, oh, that's really clever. We're talking about eye contact, how you hold yourself. None of it stuck because I wasn't using it. And on that note, we'll move swiftly onto our favourite part of the podcast. We've really rambled on today, so we probably won't do any dilemmas, but we could not forget to do In this week's episode of Being a Dumb Bitch, this person said, I got absolutely wasted at my work Christmas party and slept in the cleaning cupboard. The cleaning cupboard.
No.
Guys, I could never. I'm actually too OCD for that. My manager, because he didn't come to the black tie event, he had a hotel. And he was like, do you want to take the hotel? My other manager, there's two of them. He was like, do you want to take the hotel? And I was like, oh, I can't. I don't have anything to take off my makeup, to brush my teeth. The cleaning cupboard. I turned down a hotel.
So I would have taken the
Oh,
hotel.
but then I didn't have
by the
anything to take
way.
off my makeup. It was long. I was like, nah. Yeah.
Damn.
Let's go.
But yeah, no. Cleaning cupboard. That
They
is
then said,
insane.
luckily I work in central London, so I grabbed a new top in the morning, slapped on some fresh makeup, and tackled the day ahead. Worst day of my life, and I've still not told anyone. Sorry, how did no one smell it on you? Like, I feel like you can smell the night before.
Also, when I fall asleep in places when I'm drunk, I always wake up like 2, 3 hours later, like, oh shit. And then I would have got my ass home. Like, did this girl sleep through the night?
I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not about it.
Insane.
I'm actually not about it. Unless it's like a really bougie office. But then again, it's still a cleaning cupboard. So it's not going to be a bougie cleaning cupboard.
Stop trying to make it better. It's a cleaning
guys,
cupboard.
please take care of yourselves during this Christmas period because there's so many festivities. I'm actually so proud of myself for like not going mad this time of year. My Christmas party's on Tuesday, so I'll keep everyone posted as to how I get on. But yeah, on that lovely note, darling, should we wrap it up there?
Yes, thank you for listening, everyone. Merry Christmas, because I don't think we'll have an episode before Christmas. So have a good Christmas to those who celebrate. And don't forget to send your dilemmas and stories into grownupspodcast@gmail.com.
DM us at Grown Ups the Podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.